Well, good afternoon and welcome, welcome, welcome. Governor, big welcome to you, sir. Thanks for coming, and thanks to everyone for being here today. This is a big day for Lexington. It's a big day for Big Blue. It's a big day for the University of Kentucky, a big day for Rupp Arena, just a big day for our state. You know, there is nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come, and now is that time. And what a crowd we've got to join in this celebration. First, we've got members of the Lexington Center Board. We have called you all together to discuss an important decision that this board has made just this morning. After a rigorous selection process, the Lexington Center Board has voted to hire internationally acclaimed architects in BBJ to free Rupp Arena and to reinvent it, to create a remarkable, iconic building that elevates our brand, our city, and our state. And in BBJ, we'll design our new convention center as well. The two buildings need to complement and work together. The board, the Lexington Center Board, knew this job demanded the best architectural talent in the world. After all, Rupp Arena is the holy grail of college basketball. We are proud today to welcome NBBJ architect Robert Mankin today. NBBJ will partner with local architect Rick Akoff and his team from EOP and work together with the Lexington Center Corporation's project manager Frank Butler and our project planner Stan Harvey in collaboration with PC Sports and Paula Yancey. And this team will work with our outstanding landscape architect Kate Orff from Scape. Kate is with us today, and she won the international competition to design the Town Branch Commons, a park that will flow through the Town Branch. The path of our history of Lexington will flow through the Rupp District and downtown and connect Lexington's urban core to our world-class rural landscape. The Lexington Center Board also voted this morning to hire Hunt Construction Group as the construction manager. Bob Hunt, thank you for being here today. The Hunt Group is the #1 sports builder in the nation. After almost 40 years in the construction business, I can tell you that Bob Hunt is a legend in our industry. The Hunt Group broke ground on Rupp Arena in 1974. So they are back again. Now clearly the Lexington Center Board has done an outstanding job for Lexington. And those members are Chairman Brent Rice, Vice Mayor Linda Gorton, Councilmember Julian Beard, Coach Joe B. Hall, Deirdre Lyons, Marilyn Clark, Ray Ball, Cecil Dunn, Reverend Willis Polk, Royce Pulliam, Judy Taylor, Craig Turner, and Holly Wiedemann. I also want to add Bill Owen to this list and his staff. Now, Bill's not on the board, but he is Lexington Center's president and CEO and has worked with us so closely on this project. I also want to recognize some of our council members who are here today. And I know that Councilmember Bill Farmer is here. Now, Kevin Stennis said he was coming. I don't know if he made it or not, but we welcome them because they have been such a big part of this project. So all of you, please, the Lexington Center Corporation board members, the council members, and the task force members. I know Ann McBrayer is here as a task force member. You all please stand so we can give you all a hand. Thank you. The board members today. Governor reminded me, he said Julian Beard. I said, Governor, I think I called him Julian out a couple of times. Yes, got that shout out in there. So today's announcement is all about improving our competitive advantage by leveraging our assets and investing in our brand, our Lexington brand, our UK brand, our Big Blue Nation brand. I want to welcome Eric Mundy here today representing UK. Eric is the university's Executive Vice President for Finance and Administration and has been working right along with us. My own years in business made competition a permanent part of my own DNA. So I naturally look for competitive advantage in almost every dimension. Coach Cal, he does the same thing when he recruits teams. He builds teams that compete and win. We're building a city that competes and wins. With today's announcement and with the Town Branch Commons, we are giving our downtown, our urban core, our central business district a new competitive advantage. The changes we're talking about will radiate throughout our city and our state. Renee Jackson from the Downtown Lexington Corporation and Jeff Fugate from the Downtown Development Authority, thanks to you guys for being with us today. With today's announcement, we are establishing a new competitive advantage for jobs. The governor's going to talk about that in a minute. But we are creating the environment that attracts companies with good jobs. Bob Quick of Commerce Lexington can tell you how important that is. Thanks, Bob, for being with us. And with today's announcement, we are creating a new competitive edge in the convention business. Jim Browder from the Convention Visitors Bureau can tell you how important it is to have enough space and the right space. Jim, thanks to you for being here. And we are creating competitive advantage for our state. Who better to talk about that than our governor, Steve Beshear. Every time, I admit that every time our governor, Steve Beshear, comes to Lexington, he brings good news, usually about new jobs. And fortunately, he's been coming here a lot lately. Steve Beshear knows how to compete and to win. Governor Beshear, thank you for joining us today. I told him last night that I was going to roll out the blue carpet for him, and it's rolled out. Governor.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being here on a very exciting day, not only for Lexington and Central Kentucky, but for the entire Commonwealth. First of all, congratulations. Congratulations to the City of Lexington, to Mayor Gray, to the Urban County Council, to the Lexington Center Board, and to other city staff and folks that are participating in this process. The decisions announced today represent a significant step forward in the reinvention of Rupp Arena and the downtown business district, which will strengthen the area's ability to attract tourism, investment, and jobs. My number one priority since taking office in this dire economy has been to bring jobs and investment to the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And to do so, I have traveled across oceans and I've recruited around the world and across this nation. Let me assure you of something. Company executives who make key decisions care about more than just low taxes. They're concerned about the quality of the available workforce, infrastructure, cost, and increasingly, the quality of life in the community around them. This includes cultural amenities, tourist attractions, nightlife, and overall energy of a community. To successfully compete, Lexington, like any progressive business, must build its brand by leveraging its assets and making investments. And Rupp Arena in this area is a key part of that plan. We know Rupp needs to be the best. It needs to be a state-of-the-art facility. That's why I recommended and the General Assembly approved the state helping to fund some of the early work on this project. Just as we've done successfully in Louisville, we believe we can partner with Lexington to add vibrancy to an area that attracts jobs and business investment. Of course, challenges remain, including the question of funding. A financing plan must be fully developed. A number of issues must still be resolved. But I'm happy to report to you that all of the stakeholders have been and are at the table. The city, the state, the Lexington Center Corporation, University of Kentucky, and others, all working together closely and in good faith to resolve these issues. And I am confident that at the end of the day, we're going to see a new Rupp Arena Arts and Entertainment District. Strengthening this city strengthens this state. Lexington is one of Kentucky's strongest economic engines. And with this project, we can help shift Lexington's engine into an even higher gear. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Governor, thank you again, and thank you for bringing along with you today Public Protection Cabinet Secretary Bob Vance, who has worked along with the guy that I'm going to introduce next, Brent Rice, in the last 6 months, and has done just a remarkable job. Anybody who knows Bob Vance knows that he is going to be careful and thoughtful, and as he says, do what is in the best interests of all the citizens of our state. Bob, thank you. And I also want to recognize Senate Democratic Leader R.J. Palmer, who's with us. R.J., thank you. And to all of your colleagues in the General Assembly. Now next, I want to introduce Brent Rice. I sometimes describe him, I often describe Brent as the indispensable man, the irrepressible optimist, the happy bulldozer even. Brent has done just an outstanding job. You know, things like this projects like this just don't happen overnight. I suspect that Bob and Robert and the colleagues, that they're shaking their heads. In fact, some of them know that they have been interested in this project for almost 2 years. Brent Rice has led the Rupp Arena Arts and Entertainment District Task Force, and today he chairs the Lexington Center Board. The task force approved the plan for the Rupp District, calling for a free Rupp and a new convention center. It is with enormous pleasure and respect that I now introduce to you Mr. Chairman Brent Rice.
Thank you. Mayor, I've been called a lot of things. Now I can add bulldozer to the list. I too would like to welcome this terrific crowd today. As I look out, I have to think back about 2 years ago when the Mayor announced the task force. I see a lot of members of that task force that are here today. I remember Bill Lear saying right on this spot, of the 47 members of which he was one, he felt like he was part of the Million Man March. And here we are, fast forward 2 years later, and Bill, you're out there. I think I saw you. All I can tell you is this: we're not quite to a million, but we're gaining a heck of a lot of momentum. We're getting there. So, Governor, it's a pleasure to have you here today. You're dead on about the opportunity of this particular project. It could be the most promising opportunity for the state of Kentucky to create new jobs and investment. I asked Bill Owen and his staff not long ago to take a look at some of the numbers that relate to this building. You may be interested to know over 40 years there have been 40 million people come through these doors. You talk about an economic engine, this is one. And I'm not sure we know how high it can be revved up, but we're getting ready to start. If you think about the economic impact of those people walking through the door, now granted, a lot of those are folks coming to the UK game and to the All-Tech Symposium, but again, there were still a lot of people coming into various concerts and other events. So that's an enormous number. And what we have to make certain of is that we continue that. We have a facility here that its economic life is slowing down, and we need to make certain that we continue to have those people come through the various turnstiles, not just Rupp, but the Convention Center and Opera House as well. A lot of people wonder what this board has been doing for the last 6 months, and we had a presentation this morning that took nearly an hour and a half, and we showed not just the staff of the Lexington Center, we also showed the media what has been taking place. It's enormous. It has been literally overwhelming, but so much has been accomplished. We have learned this is an extremely, extremely complex project. It's not just dealing with an iconic building. It's 46 acres that is a tremendous asset of this city that we have the obligation to make the best of it possible. And that's what we've been doing. We've been dealing with stakeholders. As the governor said, everybody's at the table. Convention Visitors Bureau, Jim Browder. We listen to Jim, we listen to Larry Bell and Larry Rothschild when they speak for the Hyatt and the Hilton. That's very important. We also listen to Julian Tackett. Actually, we roll the blue carpet out for Julian Tackett. He's the president of Kentucky High School Athletic Association. Now, you may think Garth Brooks or some of these other folks that come in here and sell this facility out on a night. Let me point something out to you. Julian and his organization, they sell it out for 5 nights. So he's at the table, and he's right at the head of it, I promise you. University of Kentucky, as you mentioned, they're at the table. We recognize their vision at the university, and I think there's a mutual respect. They recognize our vision here. There are a lot of issues, and we're making progress. We've got a ways to go, but we've enjoyed being engaged with them to date, and we'll continue to be doing that in the future. Let me point out to you some of our consultants I'd like to recognize that are in the crowd with us this morning. We first started out, one of the first endeavors that the board had was to engage what we thought would be the best economic advisors, financial strategic advisors that we could find. We assembled, without question, the best team in the country, led by Bill Rhoda, Convention Sports and Leisure. Bill, I think you're out there someplace. Yep. He was joined with Mike Evans, Live Nation, which one of the larger concert promoters, and they also happen to own Ticketmaster. Sims Himes, part of the team, he's with HKS World Sports, and Mike Andraco with Legends Marketing. They've just been a phenomenal team, and we have a lot of work to do, and we recognize that the financial model that's going to be completed here in the next 30 days is critical to this process. And Governor, I can assure you one thing, it will be transparent. Everybody will continue to be at the table, and I'll make a big statement. When it's finished, it'll be bulletproof. So that's a big statement, but it has to be. This is a huge undertaking. It involves a lot of public dollars, and we're going to make sure it's done correctly. So that's one thing that's been going on the last 6 months. The past 90 days, our board has been engaged in a very, very rigorous competition and evaluation process for the design and engineering firms and the construction managers that we have selected this morning to lead this project forward. We were overwhelmed with the response that came in from literally across the world. We had 15 firms that responded. They were the best in the business. It was a tough decision. Sitting there, we conducted 3 days of interviews. There was a lot of differing opinions on the vision of what should happen here, but one thing was in common that they all said, and that was they recognize this as a game changer. This is an iconic facility. They recognize the importance of this for the community, not only for the brand of Rupp Arena itself, but for the University of Kentucky and the city. So I want to also thank those firms that participated. They did phenomenal jobs. As we all know, there can only be one winner, and the board unanimously selected NBBJ and Hunt Construction to lead this project forward. The visions, you're going to see some of them in a moment. These are the most talented firms there is. They're going to be terrific partners for us going forward. And after an absolute vigorous competitive process that I think some of these board members will tell you was just an experience beyond belief, we're very confident we have the team to get us to the next level where we have to go. With that being said, I would like to introduce first Mr. Robert Mankin. Robert he's a principal at the firm of NBBJ, based out of Los Angeles. They have done some of the more terrific, outstanding projects in America and also abroad. And they have teamed with the local firm of EOP Architects. A lot of people know Rick and his partners, and we're delighted that they're part of this as well. So with that being said, let me say this before I introduce Robert. These teams were phenomenal. We had teams that designed the most iconic venues in sports across the world. But what made the difference is we sensed their desire and their passion to be a part of this project. And at the end of the day, that's why they were selected. Let me introduce you to Robert Mankin. Robert?
Thank you for that kind introduction, Brent. And I want to start by thanking Mayor Gray, the board, the committee, the city council, the city of Lexington for this tremendous opportunity that we've been presented. This project is a defining moment for Lexington. There's really no other way to put it. And we're honored to partner with the city on this journey that's going to move forward. It's going to move forward quickly. And it's going to be an exciting one over the next several years. I also want to thank, briefly, our partner on this project, local Lexington-based firm EOP Architects. NBBJ and EOP, we have a long history of working together in the state of Kentucky, more than 10 years. And we have built work in the state of Kentucky. And we look forward to their wisdom, their insight, and their partnership. As they're going to be at the table with us and with all of the stakeholders from start to finish over the next several years. Our practice at NBBJ was founded in 1943, and we're excited to be in our 70th year working around the world, and we've been fortunate to work on some very exciting projects. And our practice is rooted in the belief that design can transform the human spirit. It transforms that through enhanced performance of a facility, through inspirational beauty, through long-term sustainability and civic relevance. And in regards to sports and event projects, like Rupp Arena and the Convention Center, these are projects that can bring special meaning. They can bring special meaning to cities, to communities, more so than just hosting events. They brand, they define, they inspire, they energize cities. And for that reason, there must be great responsibility paid to their design and to how they engage the urban fabric and the city around them. We've approached these projects, Rupp Arena and the new Lexington Convention Center, we've approached it as one project. We believe that only by looking at these as one, making sure that they work together functionally, that they relate and have a dialogue architecturally and urbanistically, that they will bring the kind of diversity of events and the urban experiences that will truly enable them to transform downtown Lexington and create that economic vitality that the mayor and governor spoke of earlier. Rupp Arena and the Lexington Center were state-of-the-art when they were first constructed. and they have brought a rich legacy to Lexington and the state of Kentucky. They will be state-of-the-art again, and they will redefine what it means for a downtown arena and a downtown convention center, what they mean to a city and how they catalyze and energize a city. Our focus is going to be to make these venues state-of-the-art again, but we also will be careful to preserve this rich legacy so that this meaning and this inspiration that they've provided to this community over the years will be recognized and will last for many more generations. I believe there's a short video of our work. I'm not sure if it's coming right after I speak, but I want to thank you all again, and thank you to the mayor.